Hi, Facebook peeps. It is Power Hour Wednesday, July 11th, 11 being a master power number. And if you have been noticing, if you're as sensitive as I am, then you have probably noticed that not only it's eclipse season, so I think there is a lunar eclipse tomorrow, and the energy is static. It's like I haven't slept much in the last 3 days. And there's like this kind of nervous, unsettled energy, which makes it so important for us to tune in and to meditate and to get still, to get quiet, to really anchor into our body and anchor into our highest reality and our highest divine truth. And I am drawn to share this topic with you today and how it really, we're going to break it down. We're going to break down, what does it mean? What are high frequencies? What are high frequency energies? What does it mean to process or integrate them? And what does that look like? What does it look like when there are high frequency energies available to you? And what are the signs or symptoms that you're seeing in the collective reality in the world? And what could you be seeing in your personal life? Really, this 2018 year is a super powerful year. If you are one of these people who follows metaphysical information, you're probably very aware that this is a number 11 year, and it's a year of transformation. It's a year of stepping up to the plate and to stepping into your full truth and to really coming to that realization that you have something to offer the world, and it's time for you to do that. What I've realized just in the last 2 days, it's become very clear, the messages that are coming through are all about how do we support each other. And when we begin to open our hearts and allow ourselves to realize that there's no difference between you and me, there's no difference in our human experiences. We're experiencing the same types of emotions and ups and downs. This human experience is really a shared experience. We receive these experiences, we process or integrate or react to these experiences in our own personal way, but at a fundamental level, we all experience the same depths of emotions and the same longing for connection to each other, and longing for a connection to the whole of this divine place that we live in this divine life that we live in. These are the types of topics that you didn't hear people talking about that much long ago. It's really come to the forefront of everybody's minds because we're ready to look at our place in this world, and if you will, in this galaxy, as something important and significant and something to take notice of. We're here for a reason, and in our little neck of the woods, wherever we're living, in our little private world, in our home, in our community, we will make a very significant difference if we step up into our own authentic truth and claim who we are, reclaim our own choices, that they are coming from you. You have the power to affect your own experiences. And in fact, you're the only one that has that responsibility. Everybody else is responsible for their own experiences and how they are going to show up in their lives. So everything that I do as a self-empowerment mentor is based around this truth, that you have the power. Within you, you know what's best for you on all levels at all times. What we experience is confusion And we get lost in the overwhelming changes that are happening to us and around us. All of the people and all of their emotions that we're connected to. And we get caught in our mind. We get caught in our mind, which replays old records and has a cellular memory of what you've experienced in the past. Well, guess what? We're all different now. The past where we may have doubted ourselves and our place in the world is over. It's now time for us to begin anew. So not only do I work with people on the practical level of life to realize they truly do have the capability to move forward as an entrepreneur, to find their passion again and to find themselves again, and to develop the relationships to attract or manifest the resources, but really to find their power. Then I'm also able to work with people who are interested in the energetics of their experience, the energy, the multi-dimensional, the multifaceted, the multi-leveled energy that you are. Everything is made up of energy. And this is not tied to any philosophy or any certain religion or dogma. I was just talking with someone earlier today on a connection call, just chatting. And she was sharing her truth with me that for her, she is resistant to hearing about people who think that they can tell you why we're here and talk about the divine, talk about our spiritual existence. Because to her, God knows what God knows, and we aren't supposed to know that. I respect and appreciated and told her, thank you. There are a million roads to the same mountain, to the same goal. And we're all going there. We're all working to find our highest version of ourselves in our life. There are not only a million, there's a billion. There's 8 billion or more roads to self-realization, the embodiment of who you are in this world and claiming your truth, walking your path, not worrying about who's going to accept you, knowing that you are right within yourself. If you are in alignment with your highest truth from within, from that highest part of you, speaking of high frequency energies, these are the energies of unconditional love. Another way of saying that is pure divine light. You are that. You are embodying that when you choose to move from that space instead of seeing yourself as limited or seeing yourself as held back in any way. When you accept that all that you need can flow through you and from you because you are connected to the true abundance that this world is made of, then you realize there's no competition. There's no competition for all of the resources and all of the opportunities, all of the connections. We all get to interact in our own perfect way. And when we are coming from that place, we don't have time to judge. We don't have the inclination to worry about what other people are doing. We stay in our own lane. That is really being in integrity with your truth and walking your path despite what your limited mind might have told you is true. That you need to look around for the answers, that you need to talk to somebody, that somebody needs to guide you. The reality is that when you work with someone who is a mentor or a coach or a teacher or a guide or a consultant, they aren't the ones who are choosing your reality for you. You are. You are the one who gets to run everything through your own truth. And at the level that you are in tune to yourself and what's right for you, you move forward in taking their advice and following what they're teaching you, testing the waters, making the adjustments. And the only way that we really get to know what's good for us is by really trying different things. So these aren't new concepts. I'm not ever going to share with anybody something that's never been told before. It's because we inherently know what's true for us. And there are 8 billion different paths to the same top of the mountain. So with that, we'll get going into breaking down what are high frequency energies and what does it look like now when there are energies available to us to integrate within our lives, and what does it look like for yourself in your personal life? And how do you do that more effectively and put that into place? One of the things that I don't deal in is just talking and theologizing and theory. I love theology. I have a passion for greater wisdom and checking out ancient information. But what I came to do, I'm very clear on, and that is providing tools and inspiring people to claim their life for themselves and take action in that vein. If we aren't taking the action, moving out of our comfort zone, we are not expanding to the degree that we can, that's available to us. And these high frequency energies are what makes that expansion happen faster, bigger, and more beautiful than you've ever imagined. Now, let me share this really quickly to my other page as I see people coming on. And thank you ladies for showing up. If you're still here, just give me a comment and let me know you're here. Say hi, how are you today? It's a beautiful Wednesday in Billings, Montana. And how is the weather there? I'd love for you to drop me an emoji of what's going on in your weather, in your world, while I share this to my other page. Done. Okay. Yay, Colleen, it's good to see you, my astrology star sister friend. So good to see you. You've been on my mind. You've been on my mind, and I've been wanting to reach out to you because I know you are way ahead of me in the astrology department. I've taken a back seat, my astrology studies. Okay, you guys. Oh, good. It's a warm summer day. It's actually cooler today. It's been 100, 101 the last two couple days. Super duper muggy here. And now it's a lot cooler. It's still not cool enough for me to not have the AC on. I like temperate. I like 75, 80, cool breeze, sun. That's what I like. So Wisconsin, that is a cold place. I'm glad that it's summer and you're enjoying it. So part of what we all feel in the weather during the summertime is that intense solar energy. And that can keep us awake. That can also make us even more tired. So that's what I experience in the summertime. And granted, right now we're also in an eclipse time period. So I'm going to break down what the high frequencies are that I'm talking about or referring to. High frequency is literally, and this has been measured, I'm not at this point in my career, I'm not quoting all of the scientific journals. I'm not quoting the scientific articles. I'm allowing you to do that. There have been publications over, I would say the last, actually, it probably goes back a lot longer than I realize. There have been published articles in science journals. That's where the stuff, the leading edge stuff is being revealed. And sometimes it doesn't get to the public. It gets to the public through people like me who have done metaphysical work, who are in tune, who are paying attention to the energies and can pick up on that in all of our different ways, clairvoyant, clairaudient, and just intuitively and channeling. So in mediumship, you learn to read energy and you learn all these different levels of energy. Energy has been documented by people who are at Harvard, who are in these communities of higher education and science. And we know everything is made up of energy at a quantum level. If you were to break everything down, and I know I'm really getting basic here for some of you that are familiar with more metaphysical understanding, but I'm going to break it down a little bit to start from the beginning. If you break everything down, you end up finding that the atom itself has more space than anything else, than the electron or the neutron. There's what, 90% space? I don't remember all the numbers. Now we know that that space is the field that actually is the environment that affects how the molecular structure is going to happen from that point forward to then create or become our bodies, our organs, and everything else. That space, they can't define what that is. That's where we know that everything is changeable and moldable. Nothing is set in stone because nothing is actually solid matter. It's a concept, and it's a great concept because it helps us, to put our boots on the ground. But when you look at the difference in frequencies that are emanating as energy fields from everything, you can measure it on a scale. High frequency energies come from what we call the feelings or emotions of unconditional, which just means pure. I don't even like to say unconditional sometimes because it gives you the illusion that there is conditional love. Really, conditional love isn't love. So love is, in its essence, unconditional. And that's our language that we use. I'd like to find a different word. So I also know that it's synonymous with the word light. If we're talking about metaphysical, light to me embodies this pure acceptance as is all that is, source creative, moldable substance, if you will. Again, we're putting something that's non-tangible into tangible words. So you get to wrap your own head around what works for me. High frequency energies are energies of light that is very expansive and lifting. It is the same type of energy or wavelength that's measured through the feelings of gratitude and compassion and love. Hope is a little further down. It's still considered probably high frequency, but with hope, you've got that duality in that word that you're doubting, so you're reaching for hope. Once you've passed hope on that emotional scale, you start to have faith and trust and knowingness. That is the high frequencies that I'm talking about. These high frequencies are literally available to all of us right now at a magnified rate. The reason is because our planet herself is upgrading into radiating a different level of energy. Not only that, but there are energies that surround the atmosphere of our planet. We're part of this ecosystem, if you will, but I call it an energy ecosystem. That energy ecosystem is changing constantly. It's never static, just like life is never static. So there are high frequency energies we can tune into and integrate within our lives and our bodies and our perspective. There are also the lower frequencies, which are just meaning dense and they move slower. If you were to look at the wave pattern, they move slowly. They feel heavier. That's why they're measured as higher and lower, but it doesn't mean good or bad. It's really faster and slower, dense or light, or fast. So the high frequencies move very quickly. And if you can imagine them, they're lighter. They feel like when you embody that unconditional love, that love, acceptance, the knowingness, that trust, and that compassion, that understanding, and that, I will say, power, all equals up to feeling the feelings of freedom in yourself, in your life, and power, that you can hold your own, and that you can be and express who you are from the love place. Those make you literally, they make me sit up even straighter just talking about them. They literally can run through your body and your central column of light that's in your energy body, and you can begin to feel that you're stretching. You can begin to feel that you're expanding. You want to breathe in and incorporate these energies into your life as much as possible. So obviously, that's why you're here, to learn how to do that. And you probably have done a lot of research or checking out or starting to check out people who are talking about this. Find for you who resonates for you. There's not one person that has all the answers. There's not one person that knows the greatest truth of all, which I believe is what people get caught up in. When I say truth, I'm referring to your personal truth for you. What I do, though, is I also connect into this high level of truth that talks about, that is the embodiment of freedom, expansion, illumination, and the fact that you are pure source energy. From that, you can change worlds. You can change your life by living from that truth, from that space. So that's what I mean when I say truth. I'm not trying to override anybody's belief. You choose what works for you. And the language that comes through me is what has developed in my time of tapping and tuning into angelic frequencies, frequencies of this pure love. When that stuff happens, you're not afraid to say what you feel. You're not afraid to say what you experience. And the reality is there's no perfect language for any of it. There just isn't. So we do the best that we can, and we speak from what's channeling through us, from our truth, from our highest knowing in that moment, which will change tomorrow. Our highest wisdom is available to us all the time. But again, nothing is static in this world. So your perspective and mine, my words, your words, our experiences are going to change from moment to moment. That's part of why we're struggling so much in this time, because when you realize you've got to be flexible in every moment to literally tune into yourself, tune into that soul within you, your spirit, your soul, to know what do you need to do from in that moment. Then things become easier because you're not trying to put yourself in a box. Integration is the process of tuning into yourself, tuning within your heart, within your solar plexus, right in the middle of your torso, tuning into the still space that is you, that is the essence of you. When you begin to touch that still space, begin to experience it for yourself, then you begin to have pockets of understanding and opening and wisdom and feelings of pure love happen. This is the natural process of integrating high energy, high frequency, fast frequency, light frequency, love frequency. I'm not saying you have to meditate, because what I've known and seen is that even in myself, I had a misunderstanding of what meditation was for years. I struggled with it. I thought meditation had to be formal, and I needed to sit in a certain position, and my goal was to clear my mind. But guess what? I am going to tell you right now, meditation is simply a word you can let go of. Let's choose your word that works for you. All you're doing is allowing yourself to experience the essence or the energy of who you are. And that happens to be a vast field, which can feel like pure, pristine stillness and clarity, like the surface of a clear, crystal blue lake. Or it can feel like overwhelming, pure love, gratitude, so much that it makes you weep. I have felt these feelings. This is why I'm so passionate about seeing and helping everyone that resonates with me to discover and to access this from within you. Everybody has the ability to feel this pure love. And when you do, every day begin to sit with yourself or stand with yourself like I'm doing right now. Go and get into that space that works for you to become quiet. Just your intention to feel and to know your soul. Just your intention to feel and access pure love. You will accomplish that because your intention is the most powerful thing. It is the essence of creative source love energy. It's the essence of everything. You are that. And because we're conscious beings, we get to choose to focus that energy. We are creators. We are co-creators because we are one with that truth and that energy. High frequency energies, to recap, are those energies of pure freedom, pure expansion, where you don't feel heavy or weighed down. You begin to feel very clear in your thoughts. You begin to feel very clear in your movements, in your choices, and in your place in this world. By clear, I mean still, confident, sure of your place, trusting, loving, unafraid to love, unafraid to be you, unafraid to know that all is well. When you're tuned into that, to those frequencies, you can make an impact in your life and in others who know you and to the world. There's no separation simply by living from that space. And when you do, you begin to make totally different choices because you're not afraid anymore of things crashing down on you, things going wrong. You're not afraid anymore of what somebody will say. I have had to step into my power to live from this space, to claim this love, unconditional love for myself and others. I've had to step up and speak my truth, to hold my ground with people who are happier from their perspective. They are happier to feel, to operate in a different place. And I'm going to use my stepfather who raised me as an example. He is very sure that he knows the best for him and for everybody. And when I come in with me being me, there's a level of frustration and irritation because it's out of his comfort zone. He is working like I used to work, very hard, doing what you need to do and taking care of business in the way that we're trained to do it. And really coming from this perspective that life is hard. And not only that, but life is going down the tubes. If I were to operate from that place, do you think that I could work as a mentor? Absolutely not. I would be doing something different. I would be looking at the world different, and I would probably actually look very different because I have literally transformed myself from the inside out by taking a different path, by taking the path of knowing and tuning into. Let me take that back. Let's start at the beginning. Taking the path of choosing every day to ask to know my soul. That's one of the ways that this started. For me, one turning point was back in 2008. I started saying, "Dear soul, let me know you. How can I know you? I want to know you." And just in those askings, you are inviting yourself to open to your truth. When these intentions are true for you, you don't give up on them. You keep at them and you open your heart and you're willing to be patient. You're willing to give time and energy to just sitting and allowing your own soul to come forward to present itself to you. And again, here's where language fails us because it makes it seem like we're separate from our soul. But that is part of how we experience this life. We feel that we're separate from. So our job, and one of the ways that we come back to that alignment, is by using language. Prayer is so powerful. And it's not, I'm not using prayer in related to any dogma or any religion or any philosophy or tradition. I'm using it from my experience. Words spoken from the heart with your intention clear is powerful, and it's palpable. The energy that comes with that. It's just as if you called in this angel or the frequency and the love and the light of God or grace. Whatever your word is, just the word grace has a frequency, has an energy, and has a feeling. And I will challenge you, I encourage you to try it. Just sit down every day and say, dear soul, let me know you. Or, divine grace, let me feel you. Fill my body, fill my life. Just that will open an access point for you to integrate these feelings, these energies of pure love. They are available for everybody. And the more that you do it, the more you experience that love. And you know then, because of your own personal experiences, that you can live from that place without fear. And knowing that this universe is supportive of you living from love. Love for yourself as a being who is navigating these very weird times and experiences, but these beautiful and awesome times as well. You get to choose which to experience. So I've been speaking nonstop, and I'm going to check in. And I see that there have been some wonderful, beautiful sisters of light who have shown up. I don't know who's still watching, so if you're still here, let me know and say hi. Hi, Diane. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Casey. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Lena. It's so good to be able to interact with you. And I see Charity was here too. I am doing these live videos so that I can start a dialogue with you and learn what's important to you and what you're experiencing and offer what I can. I would love for you to tell me what you want to learn more about in metaphysical or physical. How do you become your best self? How do you realize that you have everything you need and begin to start to feel that truth and trust in your life? Let me know what you're struggling with. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with talking about it. In fact, talking about it shifts it. It shifts it. Just the act of telling someone who's receptive to hold the space for you in that moment to experience what you're feeling will shift things, will move things, and will create an opening in your heart. Okay, let's see. I'm going to break this down because I don't see any comments. I defined high frequency energies. Oh, thank you, Colleen. Oh, it's so good that you're still here. I am going to connect with you. I can't wait to talk to you again. It's been too long. Oh, so what I said. So yes, I want to, okay, what did I say? How to live from that place. Gotcha. Okay, good. Thumbs up. So every video I try to give tools and information that will activate for people or ring true for people, and offer services too that help people, help everybody, and it helps me to do it. It's what I love, and I learn from you. That's why I love the interaction. I learn from everybody that I work with and everybody that I talk to, everybody that I connect with. We're all helping each other, and as we help each other and we're just there for each other, holding space for each other, loving each other, then everybody benefits. Everybody benefits. So that's the place I'm coming from. Let's see. I talked about what are high frequency energies. why it affects all of us, and what does it look like. I already talked about what it looks like on a personal and collective of level. I'll touch on that again really quick because I don't think I went too far into that, and what to do to integrate it. It really comes from a place of intention. There are many, many different things you can do to integrate this love, pure acceptance, pure peace. And once you do it continuously, it starts to become a natural feeling that you have, a natural experience for you on a regular basis. It doesn't happen overnight. That's why I do mentorship, because I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to see people living their dreams and experiencing huge change like I have. And in one session, you just scratch the surface, and it can help. One session can make a huge difference, but what happens is, because we've been living in a different way, we will reset. We will reset to our old programming very quickly. So that's why 3 months or 90 days is the core time frame that I work in with people. It gives everybody a consistent basis to then really have life-changing experiences and move forward from that point with new practices in place, with new knowing, because you've experienced it. Day in and day out, you build the experiences up, and then you don't doubt yourself to either at all or the degree that you did. And if you do, which everybody does, we all go up and down, and that's always going to be the process. That's always going to be our human experience. That's why we talk about compassion and self-love, because the reality is that we're going to have ups and downs. We're going to get lost. We're going to get confused. We're going to get angry. We're going to get off what we think is off track, but it's really not. It's going to happen, but move through it. We can move through it, get back on track, start living again from your authentic truth. Forgive yourself. Clear it up, whatever it is, clear it up. Get it clear and clean so it's not hanging on you anymore. The processes to integrate can vary greatly, but your intention is the most important aspect. And you find what tools work for you. Yoga asana, chanting, just having a sacred space for yourself, going to places such as your church where there's prayer, there's group prayer, where you are just connecting with other people in a group with an intention to share your shared experiences. I don't know if that stuff happens, if that's very common. I know that there's lots of groups, for, say, like domestic violence, which runs the gamut, physical, mental, emotional, and I'm very, very familiar with it. So there are groups for particular purposes, but what I like to see is groups having an intention to witness and hold space for each other, to bring up, to have a topic of the night and just share. And through this, transformation starts to occur, illumination starts happening. I am involved in one of those groups that a previous client started, and it's freaking phenomenal, but it's private. And these are the types of things any of us can do and start. So there's all kinds of tools to help you begin to reconnect with this love. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention again that you can connect with it more easily, a lot of us can, from the natural world. Somebody I spoke with, a peer the other day I spoke with, said that she had to go sit under a tree and breathe with her back to the tree and her feet on the soil or on the ground. Exactly. You know what to do from within you that makes you feel good. The more that you do it from a place of intention to feel these truths of acceptance, love, and that you can claim, knowing that everything isn't all shot, everything isn't doesn't have to go the way you think it's going to go. Reorganize your perspective. Breathing, meditation, being out in nature, coming to a still point. You have to be secure in yourself to choose those things. I've realized that. So some of us won't choose them, but if it's a priority for you, you will. And just mentioning about what does it look like in the integration process? It's not all roses. It's not all roses. It's not all sunshine. It is hard work in the sense that you're getting out of your own way. And getting out of your own way and not believing what your mind is telling you is a conscious choice and effort to do when you've been listening to the nonsense that goes on in your head for years and that goes on in the heads of others. So, integrating love, integrating freedom, integrating the knowingness that all is good, and not only that, but you have a very high impact on the world by your own choices and the energy with which you hold and come from in every conversation. Every conversation, the perspective that you offer from a place of non-judgment and also big picture truth. Get at, helping people just by a couple words you're sharing in a conversation, helping people to get out of their own stuck stories by offering a different perspective. It makes a difference. It makes a difference, and it gets easier and easier the more that you do it. And obviously, you get to choose the type of people that you're around. So you can find those people who are working at a different level that are actually inspiring each other. And the other thing you're going to find is that as you step up to the plate and start to own the fact that you don't have to be, you can do things differently. You don't have to stay in the same routine. And you're going to make a different choice, just one choice to change something. Like I mentioned, a whole bunch of exercises. Just one choice to implement in your day. You are standing up for yourself. And let me see if I can get back on track. Allowing yourself to know that every small step that you take makes a big difference. It's a ripple effect. It's an absolute ripple effect. And you don't have to work hard to make a change. You just have to do it. And you have to trust that you're doing what's right for you. And when it starts to become a feeling that's not right for you, then change. Do something different. You didn't do anything wrong, but you don't know until you try it, such as meditation or such as creating a sacred space for yourself or mindful writing. Some people aren't able to speak out loud their prayer or truth or declaration. They need to write it, but I do encourage you to do it in some format like that because it's powerful. It's less powerful when it's just in your head because our heads are so filled with so much that it becomes very intangible for us. And it's so easy for us to say something in one moment but not have the true power behind it or the true full intention behind it and have it just go to the wayside. The last thing is, as you start to claim your truth in knowing that all is truly well and you can take the high road, you can take the path less traveled, you can take a different route than the people that you know around you. You don't have to, but it's okay. Then you will start to notice that as you're looking to the high road, you start to notice how different you used to be, how different other people around you are thinking, and the difference in how it feels. What feels best for you, what doesn't feel good. So there's always that polarity that you begin to notice, and that's okay. Don't need to focus on it, because otherwise your mind is going to start analyzing, well, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm doing something that's not helpful. Stick to your guns, hold your truth. Integrate those high frequencies of love, light, acceptance, knowingness, compassion, understanding, truth, trust, and faith. Start to own those. Find your own access point to those. And if you need any support, if you want to just chat, I actually cleared blocks of time in my work schedule for 20-minute coffee chats just to connect and get to know you and what you're doing in the world. So they're free, and I love to make that connection. So if you're interested, then reach out to me, send me a message, and we'll do it. If you're available right then, we'll do it right then. And if I'm not available right then, we'll get her done another way, because this platform isn't about just knowing you from afar. It's about truly connecting with people, making a difference by just knowing each other. That's how we share our common humanity and our support and our love. I think Colleen may have stayed on this whole time, but it does show that somebody's still here. I see hearts. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Wednesday, rest of your week and weekend. Play some music, get some dancing in, do some stretching and some exercising, get outside, do what makes you feel good. Make sure you fit that into your day, and play with your grandchildren and your children, and enjoy life, and then come back and listen to that, connect with your soul, ask to know your soul, touch base with your still point within your heart. Just your intention of doing so and breathing in that moment, and trusting and knowing that the universe will show up for you, your spirit, your soul will show up for you. Just allow yourself to sit in that knowing that it's real and it's true, and it will change your life, and it will open you to living a life where you feel calmer, more secure, and at peace, and more confident. You've got this, and I believe in you 110 billion%. And I will talk to you on the next video. Take care, friends.